And but I have to say, I mean, so far between the 4 games throughout this series, we haven't seen anything where it's been like super back and forth, but more like it's been pretty decisively one-sided because of either the drafts or some really good mid-game decisions.
You know, as I said, it's just like you get a advantage, and every time they've converted it, it's really weird to see. Normally, in these high-pressure situations for finals, those are the opposites. You see way more back and forth games. This has been like clean, concise execution. And I do think most of it's down to the draft. It's not like the teams have been playing that badly on the back foot. They've been executing their spells decently. They just don't have the strategical ability to do what they need to do to win the game.
And this time, they actually let the Kunkka slip by. I'm not sure that this will be a mistake, but LGD, of course, I think they rather play against the Kunkka now instead of playing against the Treant, because that was our first Treant game in many. That was, like I said, that was the first Treant pick in general. I've never seen it picked by any of the games we've casted so far, and Juggernaut Warlock, first 2 for LGD. So, what do you think? I mean, so far the Jug games, we haven't seen anything like super impressive. Warlock as well, but LGD could be proving us wrong.
While we haven't seen anything majorly flashy, it's like I feel like these 2 heroes are just very safe. You're never going to be too unhappy to have them. The counters that exist don't hard counter you too much. You still have room to play around them. They've still got a lot of ways they can draft around with the ending free picks. It's just like Jug's also really good against Conquer. You want cores that don't just die to this hero pressing one spell on you and then one other hero TPing into a lane. Which is honestly like why the Conquer was so good game 1. LGD just didn't have heroes that survived it. Sand King in that game was like complete food. All their heroes relied on mobility, and Conquer just shuts that down entirely.
So right now, they actually second pick the Ursa. I like the bans though from LGD. You take out Phoenix, you take out the Omni Knight. The patch so far, or rather the meta for the Chinese games, is pretty much been all the rage around Clockwork, Phoenix, and Sand King. So here, we will have a Sand King again. We haven't seen anything wow from Sand King as well so far today in the series, but once again, like LGD, they're picking up all these questionable heroes, but they are the reliable picks. So we'll see whether reliable works, or will CDEC go with something a bit flashy. Like, what else do you think? What else do you think actually goes well with the Ursa here? Do you think they might encourage, maybe a Dazzle?
I'd prefer to see like a Rubik,
maybe
maybe even Avenge. CM would be ideal, but that hero's gone.
Always gone.
I think, like, as I said, and I'll say it one last time, it's like active supports have been really, really good. Last game, CDEC, it wasn't necessarily the supports that won them the game, but more like their overall strategy. And they were able to get active after the lane, which is like the important thing.
So...
And there's plenty of good spells for Rubik to steal. Like, you're happy with any Jug spell, you're happy with the main spell from Sand King, and it makes it really annoying to play against because you probably skill Sandstorm a bit earlier than you would, providing he's off lane. If he's a support, you probably don't mind that much.
I mean,
it's still easy to steal Burrow.
Like, I don't disagree with you. I actually thought the Rubik was a pretty good pick, but I thought back against it and I was like, they do need a hero which at least has a bit, a bit of sustain. Like, you look at the Warlock as a 5, he has a heal, he has a nuke. Witch Doctor pretty much brings the same to the table. So yeah, there it goes. He gets third picked.
If he skills it though.
Yeah.
Like, so many people are going Maledict, at least in the lanes, and then it depends if you actually get some levels or not.
I think we see a bit of a transition as well. Like, they will actually just go for like a 1-1-2 instead of going for the 2-0-2 now. So at least you have a bit of best of both worlds. But LGD, okay, for the first time in this series, we will see the Darkseer picked from either one of these teams. And I did mention, like, this hero has been absent so far throughout the series. Now that it's finally come in, that's actually pretty good. And I think Darkseer Sand King is of course quite fun to watch. In theory, it's very strong. CDEC, they go back for that watermelon pick.
LGD's turn to ban.
They have been proving you wrong that Tidehunters actually still like, pretty legit.
Hey, the last time it was picked up, I didn't complain at all. I was fully behind the hero. But again, that's when teams
10
understand
seconds
what they
remaining.
need from the hero. Sometimes you get forced into picking heroes and they don't really gel with your draft.
Dire team ban.
And in this case, it's like a different way. LGD have this Darkseer hero that does a lot for their game plan. But if you look at CDEC's tri-lane, presuming it is going to be Kunkka up there from the start, how do you
10
lane against
seconds
this?
remaining.
The answer is you go to the jungle. Because I think even with
5
Sand King
seconds
at the
remaining.
start, it gets really dicey. Like, if you lose the initial engagement, the game kind of becomes really awkward for you. Whereas if you just start in the jungle, maybe Sand King can leech in the lane if he hides in the trees and does some shenanigans with his Burrow Strike, that they can like at least leech out of the lane. But again, it's an offlaner with no lockdown, and they didn't ban Storm.
10 seconds remaining.
They were more afraid of the Medusa, but if you start to
5
group up
seconds
early,
remaining.
Storm Spirit, it's very hard to fight. But the Tyrant pretty much negates that threat. At least team fight, you know you can match LGD's draft. So right now, Darkseer, take out Ember Spirit as well. What's a maybe hero? Do you think Invoker? Do you think he actually tries for TA himself this game?
No, I can maybe see TA, but it's really awkward to play in Kunkka. I don't know. I think they have a lot of pressure on their mid hero here. It's very hard to pick any traditional core here. I suppose Shadow Fiend's still in the pool, but you don't necessarily want to be picking Shadow Fiend into a lineup that has superior team fight. Maybe they don't even have superior team fight, but Ravage is like ease of execution. Darkseer, it's a lot harder to get a vacuum Burrow Strike in the early game. That actually matters. And between like the Kunkka Boat and Warlock, it's kind of like just execution based.
But this is where, you know, LGD, they have also identified these points which you've mentioned, and probably more. If anything, okay, OD.
Oh, this is good actually.
This is good against Storm as well. You take that intel. I mean, obviously he has too much to take away, but think of all the use you can take for, you know, just taking away Tidehunter's intel, or even the Ursa for that matter. Like Ursa as it is, we call him what we wouldn't want to say a dumb bear, but he's lacking in the IQ part.
No, we do want to say dumb bear.
Or
Or at least I do.
I don't want to be mean. Like I'm not a bully. Are you a bully, PQ?
No, but it's just a fact.
You have to be nice.
Yeah, I'm being nice. I think OD's a really good pick here. Like, LGD really needed a hero that scaled well into the game, and I think one of the most important things for them was having a way to deal with this X as well, or like just any initiation from CDEC. And their counter initiation in terms of like
10
a big group up from
remaining.
CDEC was pretty good, but if it's just single heroes, it's nowhere near as strong. And then like they could bait them out into a fight maybe. But OD gives you a way to deal with the X. It gives you great ways of kiting Ursa when he does connect on a hero. And most importantly, a second core as the game goes late, so you're not relying on a jug. Solely relying on a jug, anyway.
Okay, I got a bit carried away with the tower part because, I mean, obviously we know these two teams, they spent a lot on the towers and the battle pass.
Prepare for battle.
Okay, but to your point, like having the OD as a second core, at least with the jug part, but he doesn't really come online that easily, does he? Like OD, he needs. We see maybe when he plays the OD, he gets very greedy. He goes for like the Midas always, doesn't really go for the Veil build. But this game, if he gets ganked, once he gets the X mark as well, you know, I think it's okay because he doesn't get caught by the torrent. But still, wouldn't it be very hard if an Ursa just blinks right on top of you and starts swiping at you?
It's not as hard for this hero as it is for like nearly any other option that goes as late as OD does. Like if you want to list Sniper, Veno, Shadow Fiend, these heroes all suffer from the Ursa problem way more.
30
OD can,
seconds to battle.
once he gets there, kite really, really well. And it's not just him as well, it's like his team. Disruption from Shadow Demon was like one of the most broken skills for the longest time. And if it wasn't for the rest of the hero being so garbage, you would probably still be seeing it picked. OD has like a better version of that for a saving mechanism. You know, the illusion part was mostly why the hero was
The
good,
battle
but still,
begins.
Okay.
it's just annoying to play into. It makes you commit a lot more. And CDEC don't necessarily have the best secondary round of follower. You X-torrent boat someone, you ravage the rest of them. After that, they don't really have a second round of stuns. So if you can mitigate one of those, they're in a pretty good spot. Yeah, and I don't know, I'm just OD fanboy.
Well, who isn't? OD, there was a period of time this hero was all the rage. Now maybe not so much, seeing as their versatility, you know, with the mid picks. But okay, set 2 against maybe Storm versus OD. Who really wins this matchup, to be honest?
Definitely OD.
Definitely OD. I mean, wouldn't you give a bit of credit to like Setsu? Storm Spirit, we said it several times, like regarding the pick. We always say like, oh, he's gonna lose the lane, but somehow he always has a really good time.
I mean, you can definitely have a player edge, but generally once OD gets to level 4 and starts hitting you with arcane orbs, the lane gets really hard for you. He has a bit of a easier time like denying you early on as well, I feel like. But at the end of the day, winning mid lane and quote unquote by the winning, it doesn't matter at all. Like, unless you literally solo kill people 2-3 times, people are just gonna recover through the woods. The mid lane is just so boring now. It is basically just trading farm and creep equilibrium and occasionally tower damage when you have heroes like DK and DP in the pool.
Oh, top lane, they actually get the kill into Old 11. They actually got the wall torn up as well. Sorry for missing that. Barely caught the glimpse of that, but I saw his corpse going to the ground. So, not sure if that kind of counts. But first blood already going the way of, you know, CDEC. This is a good start. And Darkshade TP's back. He has the jungle. He needs more. He's always still stuck at level 1. Holy shit. It's 2 minutes in already.
And they have the Wearerfall as well, probably because of the ward to start going to contest his lane. Well, his jungle. He does get level 2 now though, so should
they
be
want
a
to rack
bit
him down.
awkward.
That's going to force up the shrine. That's still
This is
pretty big.
really good by CDEC though. Like, it's really important they make this lane as easy as possible for their Ursa. And they make use of their supports early. Because one thing that LGD could suffer from is like this OD getting ganked a lot, but that's kind of why the Darkseer went up there, to like keep the supports there. He tanked to death for it, but Darkseer's not too dependent on the first few minutes. Again, you have access to the jungle, so you can use it.
So no real loss here, but you're talking about an OD. OD can't really farm the jungle like compared to a Storm Spirit or anything. And you can see already from the CS that, well, Storm kinda is pulling ahead, just barely.
He has a creep wave coming into him though, so
Okay.
it's dead even.
Oh, looking for the Tidehunter if they can get the Burrow Strike. The body blocks from Army, really nicely done. But it's only a level 1 Burrow Strike, so they won't really necessarily get the kill here. The TP will be cancelled, and okay.
Tidehunter things. The watermelon lives.
He was really close as well. He, if the Burrow Strike are connected, he definitely dies there.
Yeah, he's having the same problems with Darkseer as Belane's not particularly easy. Joke's one of the better heroes at getting kills on Tide. Doesn't rely on the right click for the majority of the damage, so... This reminds me of Dota before Shrines, when your offlane actually just got tri-laned every single game and you were just like...
Torrent actually connects.
Die.
They might be able to get themselves another kill with the Maledict X Mark. Where are you running to? Oh, Old 11. He's gonna die one more time to Darkrai. So Demons, Mr. Demons Darkrai, they also ping out the Bounty Rune, giving it to the Kunkka. Get him closer to level 3 with an X Mark that usually should guarantee a kill.
They're doing a really good job of just mitigating this Darkseer. A lot of teams would go back and start pulling and being a bit greedier themselves, but this is a much better play if you can make it work. And they also know there's no Astral on OD now, so they've got a chance.
Okay, the Coconut flies out. Torrent really off the mark, but once those spells missed, they just walk back with shame, saying, okay, I guess we shrine up. Oh, they don't even have a shrine. Okay, so No mana on either of these heroes. OD just wanted to get a nice little Astral, but of course no range. He's gonna build his way towards that Midas now. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane though, they're getting the Titan to really low, but they don't have any more damage. The Shadow Word heal will not be enough. The Kraken Shell just dispels it immediately.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
At least he's finally getting some creeps, so he managed to drag the wave. Alright, so as soon as this breaks down from the lanes, I think you have to favor CDEC ability to like take major objectives. Like Roshan is really hard for LGD to contest. I feel like as soon as you have Ravage up, Ursa just gets into the pit with like anyone to tank it. It's awkward for them. So I think it's really up to them to try and. Admittedly, it's awkward when your Dax is getting ganked the entire time and Sand King's not getting levels, but I think they really need to like utilize these two heroes to hurt CDEC before that window happens. But they're playing really well around it.
I just feel like the damage could be too much because when you look at CDEC, yeah, your 2 kills up, but so many, they're just not farming as well as you would like them to be. X-Mark into a Torrent. Do they have damage? Okay, the Astral. Torrent actually off the mark. They would throw out the casket, but Torrent once again misses. Now zip forward. Setsu with the double damage. They actually get the bar strike here and the Maledict onto Victoria, but still very nice response to come out, and the CDEC just aren't getting the execute onto. Maybe that should have been a kill, I feel.
That's all mind games. You wait for him to X your Astral when he thinks he's getting pulled back, and then he just kept very cool.
So top play from him out there for sure. And this way OD pretty much gets to build his way into his Midas. It's going to take a really long, okay, not say a long time, but he's 1,000 gold away. The mid lane has basically become very static. We should be looking to the side lanes where, you know, Tidehunter, he's getting somewhat decent CS, I guess. I mean, he's level 4 compared to like the Darkseer who hasn't really had a place to call his home. But okay, never mind. I take that back. He's almost level 6 now.
He's been left alone long enough, and now the supports are coming back, but
They're baiting.
know what's up.
Oh, baited, get baited. No coconut here. First strike. Alright, they get themselves 1 kill. Old 11 will take it. They wanted to go for a bit greedy into Darkrai, but this dual roaming support, this aggressive tactic is not really going to pay off anymore.
They went to the well once too many, and LGD have the ability to adapt.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So 1 to 2, very nicely done. At least LGD shows that they are providing some form of response. 11 now that he's getting levels as well, he can actually lane much more confidently going in against the Ursa, who's had actually very good free farm. He has his Morbid Mask, 63 last hits to his name. He can actually just abandon, just go jungle and just pretty much let, you know, the Witch Doctor get some EXP.
And ideally you want to be off the map with this hero as well. It's not quite as efficient as farming the lane and taking the hard camp, but the longer you're off the map, the more you worry about like Roshan from LGD's perspective. But it looks like he's not going off the map to farm, he's going off the map to do Roche with a smoke. Which is for standard play. Maybe LGD don't expect it this early.
I mean, they might suspect Witch Doctor's alone at the top. If he dies here, I think they're okay with that. He goes to the Maledict into 11, but he doesn't know the Sand King is there. Victoria going with the Bar Strike right now. Whoo, that Ion Shell damage. Coconut's bouncing around. Don't tell me he actually gets out. No way. Caustic Finale. Okay, so he get the kill, and this way Flyby gets himself an Aegis.
Good trade overall. Like, at least LGD got a kill. CDEC would definitely want the Aegis. This is the way to fuel their aggression. And because the Ursa's had a completely free lane, and now he has a decent injection of gold, he's halfway to his blink. If he can manage to get that with 2.5, 3 minutes left on the Aegis, they can really start ramping up the pace. The only thing they lack is like, they suck at hitting towers for like all stages of the game. Maybe Ursa gets a Deso to deal with that.
Oh, top lane, Old 11 maybe dying here. The Maledict actually should be enough to bring him down. He has no shrine. Oh, he has a shrine. Can he make it to it in time? One more tick. Actually, he will die right in front of the shrine. Oh, that has to be a feels bad moment when you're so close yet so far.
You still had to wait for it to tick as well, though, right? Level 3 Maledict. Yeah, I like this from the Witch Doctor. Because LGD, they are quite tanky.
Like, if anything, the Witch Doctor level 3 Maledict definitely hurts a lot. Especially if you realize there aren't many opportunities for the Paralyzing Cask. You just need the Maledict to land, and this build really helps a lot. Meanwhile, bottom lane looks like they want to try and force a fight here. They have Ravage, they have Aegis, Storm Spirit's coming in as well. Warlock is nowhere close to level 6 yet. Oh, that's a big stack of creeps to take.
Yeah, your Storms are more than happy to leech that from the enemy team. Or take it, not leech it.
He's just gonna shrine up, I think, yeah. So this way, they actually abandon the bottom lane. They see the Ursa, the CDEC are asserting dominance all over LGD's face. Top lane, they get the first kill, but Setsu with the double damage, he's gonna look for more. He wants Army, he actually will get Army. Going for Victoria right now, he has more than enough damage, he needs one more. Has the soaring if he needs to break the trees. Oh, it doesn't have the vision. Really sad. But this means that maybe he can come in, might be able to clean up for a kill here. Victoria could go for a turnaround. No mana to Setsu to get the power strike. Taking all that mana. Astral up, but here comes Mr. Tidehunter. Not so worried. So Setsu still gets out, losing a few intel points, but he's not too concerned.
He'll be more than happy trading his Conquer for the Jug kill. And that DD room making it all possible.
Ooh,
Hits like a truck with the
Bye-bye.
damage challenge.
Battle for the tier 1 tower, but now the TP's coming in. They can actually burn the Aegis here. Ooh, this doesn't look very good for Flyby. You need the... Okay, you need the Kunkka. Kunkka's coming in right now to smoke. The vacuum onto him. Oh, and it gets shipped to land. Maybe is in a disaster. Oh, shit. Okay.
Baited, boys.
Baited, and old 11. Now he's going to run all the way, trying to juke him out. But they have the X mark. Darkseer, where are you running? Where are you running? Nowhere to go. Flies up into the air. Very, very easy. As LGD get completely baited.
This Ursa is... He's so fat. He just had 3k gold at 12 minutes. On top of having a pretty stacked inventory already.
Radiant's top tower
Blink Dagger,
is under
Morbid
attack.
Mask, the X mark. It looks like they will find the Sand King as well. I don't want to be getting, be too presumptuous, but it looks like CDEC are about to snowball very hard into this game.
Yep. Gas pedal is down.
Turn up the Nas, and of course with the Ursa, they're going to be very happy. But now it looks like they're going behind the tower. They might actually find Yao, who has a chaotic offering. Oh, he drops it. It actually cancels the Death Ward as well. CDEC getting carried away. And that should be one kill. Will they find the second as well? Bar Strike already being used. Kunkka doesn't have the mana for the TP out. Anyways, he wouldn't be able to survive this. So 2 kills going the way to LGD. They'll say thank you for the donation as Setsu just tries to push the middle tower just a tiny bit.
Radiant's middle tower is under
I
attack.
wouldn't necessarily say it's a donation though, because they still had to use their rock. And that's the only thing CDEC are really scared of in terms of LGD's teamfight control. And it's just your 2 supports. Don't get me wrong, it's good they get the kills, and it's very important they actually cash in their ults whenever they get the opportunity. Because it's hard to do it when CDEC are actually 5 heroes.
Okay, they get the Astral onto the Tidehunter. Nowhere to run. He pops the Ravage, but Ame is already in this nicely. Spin form. Okay, big ultimate, but maybe to kill him off immediately. And they order them to go down, vacuum into 2. Here comes Flyby going ham actually with the swipes. He will bring down maybe.
On the
For a bit
cast?
more. There's still a bit more mana. No more caskets. No, they do not. So this way... And I feel very scared for LGD. I really do. Like, look at CDEC. These guys, they have not really... I would say they haven't really used the Aegis to full efficient use. But still, he's going in getting very involved. He's top of the net worth. Very comfortable full item ahead of the OD. Things do
He
not
doesn't
look
need
good.
the Aegis. That's the thing, right?
And Diffuser Blade. Okay, I guess this is good against the Darkseer.
It's just an overall good item as well. Gives you a lot more ability to connect in fights. Actually, no, it looks like he's deviating. Whether this is Dessa or BKB, both are good. As I said earlier, they do not have a tower hitter. Their way of taking towers is by initiating onto LGD, winning the fight, and then just not having any defense. So they can maul the towers
Can he
down.
kill the Storm Spirit? He should be able to zip out from this. Yes, he does. all the way to safety.
That's close.
He had like what 180 HP. Yeah, that was really close. If the bar strike was
The
off
jug, like-
cooldown. Sorry, what?
Or crit from the jug when he goes to Zip if he's turned the wrong way from the Astral.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But Setsu with the Invis rune. Going for the Vortex and the Torrent to land to Ame as well. Tidehunter, does he have Ravage? No, he does not. 50 seconds. But still, LGD, they don't want to take the risk. They back out. And this means that top lane, you know, Darkseid gets some really good free farm. He's going to complete his mecha in 700 more gold. Gets to pressure the top a bit. Will they actually smoke up? Oh, I like this movement from LGD. I really do. Will they find anyone though? That's the question. No, immediate blink out. Ah, flyby. He didn't even have vision. How did he know?
There was a ward here.
Ah, okay. Really, really nicely done. So, quick reflexes and LGD waste some much needed time.
It was also at a point where CDEC weren't ready to fight them at all, so it was a pretty free pick if they could have gotten it. I'm not quite sure they'd be able to burst him down though. Maybe if they dropped the rock as well, which would have been more than warranted for sure. But now it's all about LGD dodging them until they feel like CDEC split up. Now there's mech on Tide as well.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Right, so they take a tail and tower, going to flyby as well. BKB almost done. This Ursa is just fat, fat, fat.
Dire's top tower
He might be a
is
dumb
under
bear,
attack.
but he's a very rich bear.
Cash me outside, how about that? Biggest example of rich and dumb.
I've literally never seen that.
Are you serious? Dude, you need... Okay, you need to check
I've
it.
heard about it, but I've
Oh.
purposely not watched it because I've heard all the shit about it.
Well,
how dumb it is.
It is. I mean, chat knows what I'm talking about.
Dire's
Or rather,
middle
most of them
tower
would.
is under
And anyways, CDEC, after claiming themselves a nice Warlock kill, X-Mark as well to cancel the TP if needed. Flyby will find himself another tier 1 tower.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Ticking off the objectives really nicely right now.
He
Gabe's
gets
just
BKB, now zipping all the way in. He knows there's no Astral. Maybe he could be in some trouble here. Solo kill here by Setsu, I think. Drops the ultimate, but it's okay. Bloodstone charge. Very nice debut with Bloodstone. And on a very high priority target as well.
that feels so good when you kill the opposing team's mid laner and you get a Bloodstone charge on top of that. It's just like asserting your dominance. He does have 3k more gold, so I mean it's pretty easy to solo kill him when Astral's down. It's just a feels good thing. It also very luckily times into Roche spawning. So LGD, even though they might want to contest this in strategic theory, like they don't have the tools to do it while their OT's dead. And by the time they set up, I think they want to push this lane in like smoke to go defend it. It's already dead.
CDEC now picking up the pace once more. He thought they were, you know, putting their feet on the pedal. They just added the NOS as well. So, what do you do if you're LGD? How do you find a way back into this game? Like OD, he went for the Midas drums, still hasn't gotten the Hurricane Pike. What do you do? Like, how do you pick a fight here? We haven't seen any good golems, and this is why I said the Warlock pick from any of the Chinese teams has never been, say, very spectacular.
I don't know if they can do it as their tier 2s, but again, this might be a bit too late. But if they can fight around the high ground with the shrines, they can do a really fancy thing where they just bait CDEC's initiation once or twice with the right heroes, and then they have plenty of counter initiation. It's just about kind of getting there for them.
Dire's
They
bottom
really need the
tower is
items
under
to let it
attack.
happen.
Well,
And namely, that's Darkseid having a blink, OD having some mobility, whether it's Force Staff, blink. And also Sand King, he needs his blink as well for this to work.
oh,
Otherwise, they
Yao. Hold on, they want to jump right into the middle and they actually take down maybe immediately. The Rocket's going to be there, but it doesn't do that much. Therefore, pummeling onto Yao, and they find themselves 2 kills. Probably going to make it a third as Victoria. Oh, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Into the ground he goes, 6 feet under. And Tidehunter wasn't even there the whole time. He doesn't even feel the need for a Blink Dagger. He's just going straight for the Greaves. CDEC is running away with this game right now.
I don't know if they were baiting that or if it was just like, I'm gonna go farm this wave, I want my supports to sit behind me, but they literally did jack. Like, they dropped the rock on Warlock, but OD's already dead. And that comes down to their Sand King not having a blink. He just can't line himself up for more than a one hero stun in that situation and actually have it matter at all.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
The game's just so hard for them right now. They do have a way back, but they don't really have a way to like defend their tier 2s, which naturally is just going to allow CDEC to choke them out. Storm is one of the best heroes in the game at doing that. He just gives you so many issues from the other team. Like, you always have this threat of, is Storm jumping me, and also does he have like a Hex, an Orchid, all these items you need to build to counteract. Like, Joke's going to want a Manta. Guess what? He's halfway there. Well, actually under halfway there. And his GPM's probably not that high for the past 2-3 minutes.
They will just
Probably
group up,
got
however.
a bit more in the lane.
Yeah, they will group up. Let's take the top tier 1. And we look at CDEC right now. Well, they're already banging into tier 3s. They still have the Aegis zipping all the way in. That's Setsu saying hi to Victoria to get the upheaval out. Trying to slow these heroes down. If they can find one kill, that'd be pretty big. Victoria still doesn't have a blink, and okay, they want to zip into him. The Astro going to save his own teammate, but the BKB from Fly, but that's really the BKB wasted. 10-second BKB, bar strikes away.
That's
Shit,
exactly what they
can
need
they
to
find
do.
the Dox here? Yes, they will, but there's just no more follow-up. Astro into the Titan, I'm not sure this is a good idea. He still has Ravage. Yep, he's just way too tanky. Now the back. Okay, Ravage in the connection
Ravage
to 1. And yeah, that doesn't really do much, but Setsu he's
but
playing the
cat.
kills here and there. Looking at the OD, Deathward pummeling away and maybe gonna save himself for now. Sanking buys back, Omni Slash gonna kill Setsu maybe. Yes, he will finally get the kill over the Aegis popped, and maybe actually not gonna die.
Healing one.
Healing word, man, and actually, oh, very nice bar strike. It's gonna connect to 3 heroes. All 11 buys back, and he needs to run. It looks like they will find themselves the Ursa. Everyone else on the side of CDEC just TPs out. As Flyby walks inside the base, gives away like 1,000 gold to maybe. But still, they broke the bank holding that base.
So worth though. And if you look at how that fight started, that's exactly what I was kind of on about with LGD, kind of layering CDEC's initiation and baiting them in. And they never gave them a chance to use that Ravage, and this is kind of why you want Blink on Tide in most situations. You want the ability to dictate what happens, whereas LGD took that away from him because he's just like a wolf.
Shit, Torrent, can he get the kill here? I don't think so. The bar strike's gonna land to Setsu, but now we pop the jumps. Do they actually want to fight though? LGD. Yeah, the healing ward back up. Now they feel a bit more confident. You know the Ravage is down, why not?
And there's no Ursa for 5, so if they can get the tower.
Oh, bar strike onto the Storm Spirit, actually burning away most of his mana. The vacuum back into the wall. 4 heroes! Oh no! This could be really bad for CDEC with the Epicenter as well, doing quite enough damage. Setsu actually denies himself to actually come back to life. But Ame and Yao, okay, they do get 1 kill, which will be Darkrai, losing only 1. Okay, can he get the tower denied? No, he cannot. Yao actually gets the tower. And do they actually want to go back in? Very unlikely, but still very, very big fight for LGD. That was the first time we saw a really good rock coming out from the Warlock.
And the bonds pretty much ensured that even Storm, even if he zipped away, he was dying. And he respawned pretty much instantly, but his TP was on cooldown. So when the Ursa pops BKB, he doesn't have the option to go in and accomplish anything. He's just on the back foot, going away. And suddenly, the game's not looking so bad for LGD, right? They make 1 hold, they close the gold graph a bit. Admittedly, it doesn't jump up all that much, but it's going in the right direction for them.
And as this drags on, OD becomes more and more of a threat. The Force Staff really helps against the Ursa. He's going for his own BKB, not so much the Hurricane Pike. Victoria, well, he needs the Blink Dagger so they can actually start taking these fights a bit more confidently, especially when you need that much needed crowd control.
It's so sad.
Oh, zipping all the way for Yao! Ooh, I feel so bad for this Warlock. He shows on the map, but because they had the ward there, he just zips in and gets the kill.
Playing poor support against Storm is never fun.
Alright, so 17-8 CDEC. This game's still kinda in their favor. The tier 3 tower bottom did go below 50% HP. And yeah, this game, I want to see
They're still
LGD.
massively in control. It's just that LGD had like a really good window and they kind of fought back a bit, which is really good for them. They just have to continue doing it, which is a hard thing.
But
Well,
if
as I
CDEC kill the
said-
2 heroes though without buyback, you know, Jug and what's it, no, like Darkseer and Sand King do not have buyback. They kill those 2 heroes. What do you do? Like after what you can't hold against CDEC like that. Not at how fat Setsu is.
Gold and sweet.
It kind of depends how much CDEC commit to get those kills. Because sure, they have a decent net worth lead, but it's still only 25 minutes in. They don't have the items to force it that much yet. Which is why they're not going in for this bottom tier 3 and playing super ballsy. Like you might see European teams do, and I'm not even going to go there of how NA would throw an advantage away. But you know, that they're just very calculated. Make sure they get all the control out of the map. Take this tier 2, probably wait for another Roche if they can combine that with Storm getting a BKB. They're in such a good spot at that point. And you see that LGD still have to play as 5. They're very scared to split up.
But they are getting some good resources off the map at least, you know, all 11 going around. Jungles a bit. They are trying to get some damage onto this tier 1 bottom, which is almost down, 110 HP. They could consider just right clicking it, but the shrines nearby, they don't want to risk taking that kind of fight in case they get jumped on. So right now, if you're CDEC, you're literally just waiting for the Roshan, which is up in a minute 20, before actually thinking of breaching a high ground again. Storm Spirit, meanwhile, he's gonna have his BKB. I can see why, like when you're playing it into OD, you need the BKB, who meanwhile is also about to complete his BKB. And with that could actually be a game-changing item for the next team fight, especially now that you see the Sand King has a Blink Dagger.
It could be, but if OD's not the hero they're focusing, he does a decent amount of right-click damage for sure, but I don't know if the BKB's... It's nice, but he needs the second item. And that's kind of what it comes down to. And that's just the deficit they're in.
They actually smoke up.
Stupendous.
They even use the scan. They know exactly where CDEC are. With the Iron Shell, the middle lane.
Knows.
Yeah, the middle wave will push up by itself. But well, I think because
I
of the
don't
ward.
think they can
The ward-
fight this. Like, they're on top of a shrine.
Did the ward give them vision? How do they know?
How does CDEC know?
Yeah, I mean like they have a
It's
ward.
just obvious for them.
Oh, okay.
Like, LGD are only letting creeps push out the lanes with Iron Shell, and it's around the time Roche is going to spawn. Maybe obvious is not giving them enough credit. They read the situation very quickly. But this is like, again, going back to the difference in scenes. Chinese teams are very, very quick at reading smokes. It's not like they even necessarily look at the map, they just go like, you know what, Roche is probably around soon, or this objective's very important. I'd probably smoke if I was the other team, so we're just not even going to be there. We're going to peace the hell out. We're going to sit behind a shrine. We're going to sit behind our tier 4s in some cases and play super safe.
But of course CDEC, they are the ones to actually go for the smoke. They try jumping into Ame, but he immediately spins out. So now they know where CDEC are. If this is the time to fight, we might be seeing a big one soon. LGD know they have to contest this, otherwise CDEC just go straight to high ground.
It's so awkward at this
Now
angle.
for the
though.
epicenter, they want to go right, but actually goes into the Roshan instead, popping the BKB. Omni Slash flying around, but it's not going to do all too much. But give the Ravage, going to go around, actually landing on him into one hero. Spin Ame did juke it. And okay, Sand King looks like he'll be the first casualty here, right here and there. But oh, maybe shredded apart by Fuzzy Wuzzy. And then all the 11's also to fall him to the grave. Darkrai with beautiful Death Ward, X-Mark into the ship, and down goes Darkseer. From up the illusions, take the Roshan. Very easy for CDEC.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
The Rock didn't even do all that much for LGD.
You can say the same about the Ravage from CDEC, but it's just... You can't blame LGD for going for that. They had to do something, and their way of initiating was... It was kind of potluck if CDEC reacted or not. They kited the Watermelon really well throughout the fight. They didn't give him a good Ravage at all. Problem was, by the time the OD could do anything, he was just being run at by an Ursa. And unfortunately, the Drug Omni Slash was mostly tanked by the Tide, which... Sure, it's nice for killing him if possible, but it doesn't really matter. He's just going to cast his stuff regardless. You have to somehow net kills on these cores, which now they have Cheese and Aegis. I mean, good luck. And they also have like that second round of item now. It just makes it so much harder. Because before, staggering the initiation from LGD is feasible. Like, they made it happen once. CDEC know that now though, so they're probably going to play slightly differently. And this is super YOLO. This is like last smoke of the game.
Oh, they're going straight into the Conker. But this could be a bit of a disaster. The back, grinding 3 heroes. Okay, the ship passing through all of them. Trying to lay down the OD ultimate, but he's going to get this torn apart. 50 seconds, no buyback. And it looks like they will also try to find a Conker who is just baiting them around. And he just won't die yet, but another brush strike also won't kill him off. All of them will finally go down. The upheaval doing not enough at all. And Victoria.
GG.
Walker Shame, this has to be the GG right here. He can't even go to the shrine. Setsu's just like, hey, come back. Where are you running?
He's fine, but that is the definition of a YOLO smoke. And they did it without Rock.
I mean, in that kind of situation, when you felt like you needed to do something, you needed to hope for the best. It was an all in or nothing, and it looks like right now they will actually lose a lane of barracks, I think. Ravage is just about to come off cooldown. Tide is a blink as well. And the whole time that happened, Kunkka didn't even die. The power of Rump.
And Greaves.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
You can't blame LGD for doing that, but
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
it's just at the state of the game.
Epicenter incoming, it's only going on to 2 heroes. But the damage is not going to be nearly enough. And now the Ravage comes out, they will immediately take care of Victoria. He may be forced to buy back here. The upheaval slowing down 3 heroes, but they'll take the melee barracks, and now they're going to get some hits in. Actually, might just kill the Tyrant maybe? Yes, with the Omni Slash, they'll finally kill him off. But Setsu and Flyby don't really care. Now the rock comes down to 2. Not the best idea. I mean, Setsu's just going to casually just zip out with the ship not going to do anything. Okay, vacuum in 2. Maybe they can just kill the Witch Doctor at least. The Search for and LGD are looking for kills. They're bloodthirsty. They need to get something more out of this. Torrent up. Don't tell me he gets the TP out here. I don't think so. He actually dies. Oh no, why did he hesitate? I think if he just immediately TP'd out, he probably would have gotten away. But still. Oh, 11.
No.
Yeah, they finally take care of the Witch Doctor. So that's going to be a 2-for-1 trade. Aegis not even burnt yet.
Nor is Vici, so you lose your racks. They use their Ravage, that's it. You get 2 kills. They got a trade. I mean, that's impressive. Considering they're against technically 7 heroes. Let's suppose it doesn't really count if they don't die, right?
And at the same time, the shrines are wide open right now. CDEC at 16k net worth, you can see it right there. And I feel really bad for LGD because it looks like they're about to lose their 3rd land spot in a grand final. This is not the first time or the second, which is really, really sad.
If you saw how they played yesterday, it was immaculate. And it was against a really good team. Fungi, they just... to be fair, CDEC similar thing against... it was EHOME, right?
Mm-hmm.
Story of the series though is these drafts. I actually don't feel like you can pick apart the play too much. It really does just come down to the strategical element of the game. And you also have to give credit to the team that's on the front foot executing. Every game that they've made minimal mistakes.
Oh, Setsu, he's going straight for maybe. Who goes to the BKB TP out.
70 seconds, no BKB. Pretty big window. And if we look at buybacks, that we have 1 available on Sand King if they don't get any gold before that happens. And he's not the most relevant hero to buy back on.
Oh, they find the X mark into Ame. He needs to spin away from the Torrent. The upheaval does slow them just a tad bit, but still, if you're looking at LGD, you're very, very scared. Because right now, CDEC, they're going straight for the bottom tier 3. They know that it's lower HP, easier to go. Zipping onto the backline, trying to kill Ame, and immediately zips out. Right.
One more hit.
Intel. Ooh, they can actually get some intel off the entire hunter, but the Glimmer Cape. Oh, the bash on Storm Spirit. Oh, it just expired. Oh no, what a disaster. And that's going to be the gem on the floor. This is where LGD can actually look to press. They can look to fight. But Storm Spirit's up in 15 seconds, so I guess that's not too bad. But still, that was really, really unlucky.
You might say unlucky. I'm going to say credit to LGD. It worked out really lucky that they actually got the kill, but they timed that go. They didn't just like react and kind of YOLO it. They knew the Aegis timer for sure. And it pays dividends. problem is, I don't think they actually need the Aegis, because Storm can just swap out the wand and get the cheese from Ursa. I don't think Ursa really needs the cheese. So they're not out the woods yet. Getting the gem is a huge deal though, actually. It gives them some resemblance of map control.
I mean, you don't want to forget as well, that was like pretty much 900 gold instantly to Ame. That helps him up. The basher, that lucky bash. Setsu is actually about to fly. You can see his arms like stretched back. So now they smoke up, baiting out. We'll see if LGD do take the bait. CDEC really want to close this game out. They almost took the tier 3 tower. It's actually one hit away. Smoke up. No, man. LGD knows what's going on. Sand King's there.
He's poking and prodding.
I mean, they have to know, right? The creep waves are quite pushed out on all 3 lanes, except the middle, where now they will show themselves. But still, LGD, very good read, and they're just turtling right now because they understand what's at stake. But this means they can actually go for a smoke. Into the Ravage, it seems unlikely. But hey.
It's all around this ward, I think. And if they can fight under a shrine, it's better than fighting outside of one for sure. They just need the right
the
jump.
bar strike only onto one though, and now they're gonna start banging into the Ursa ultimate. Oh, they can't really get anything else. And now Omni Slash bouncing onto the Talonton, not the best
No
target
mana
kill.
for
And the
Ravage.
rock. Okay, 1, 2, 3, but it's not gonna do anything. If anything, it's gonna feed away. And Setsu's gonna try right click by Ame. Death Ward. Oh, I think they actually might be able to kill him off. The Mountain Star Illusions is actually gonna kill him off because of the coconuts. That's so sad. And Yao, 4 staffs away, looking for the X mark into the ship, and that's going to be one more down. Goodbye. Goodbye back immediately from the Juggernaut. Those Manta Illusions really killed him. That was so sad.
And that's a fight where they don't have to worry about Ravage either. And now they do.
Oh no, disaster. And if anything, CDEC, they have a huge opening to find themselves a second lane of barracks. Possibly even mega creeps because of the Ravage now.
It is very likely if they don't dive the fountain for several minutes, they end the game here. They have all the tools they need.
Right, so Tide wants to take the hit. Just 4 HP, just spanks it with the little sword. Okay, now Bar Strike onto the Ursa. He's trying to do whatever he can, but the Solar Crest is onto him. He loses a bit of intelligence. And the Upheaver, they're going to try and slow down the Ursa, but BKB just walks out. So this way they get what they want. And CDEC, they'll just reload and wait for round 2. They need the next creep wave to go in.
I'm really surprised they didn't just like dive them with Ravage there, but play it safe. And they know Roche is available. I feel like that's a really quick respawn timer. I've got to be honest, I haven't been watching it.
If anything,
But
this is
safety
CDEC
first.
not wanting to throw. Like this is just the calculated discipline of Chinese teams. I mean, like you said, usually you expect them to just dive it, but in this case they know, and they choose to go for the Roshan, Aegis, and Cheese. And if they feed any more gold to the OD, you're also unsure of like buyback status for sure. I'm pretty sure of it. But now they'll smoke up. They have to YOLO in, even the Surge into the OD. Ursa Illusion, they do not know.
They don't ping it.
Oh, look at the bar strike, but the Ravage! It's big! And now into the ship as well! LGD is gonna lose all these heroes on the floor. And that'll be Sand King and the Darkseer gone. Nowhere to fight. Maybe he's gonna take care of the ward, but hey. Goodbye, Warlock. It looks like maybe we're also falling into the grave. This should be the GG right here. OD immediately buys back. He's not done yet.
I think it's at the point where until their throne is nearly done, they aren't going to GG out in a game 5.
Fighting spirit, that's for sure. Never giving up. And that Ravage though really won them that fight so easily. LGD, they thought I thought you were going to initiate with the rock, but this on an initiation tool, very, very sad. So right now they take another tier 2 tower. This should be Megas.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
They do still have the range racks top and they have the double set bottoms, so LGD are going to be able to contest when they go for the second, well, the third set of melee racks at least.
Under attack.
Second overall set.
Radiant's middle
Oh, maybe a combo. Actually, another torrent to the ship. The Astral save, or maybe it was going to save the Juggernaut. Oh, they need to go on him. Can he spin down? Okay, nice rock. He's going to land to 4 heroes in the vacuum into the wall. But the upheaval is where everyone's so slow. Can they actually right click Kunkka down? I think he can. The Omni's actually only into the Kunkka, and yes, he will finally bring him down. But Setsu going ham. He's still at the Aegis. He's not afraid to die. Ame and Yao already netting themselves to kill. And they still can't kill Setsu, who's actually going to get out. But with no more mana, he should be dying here. Or try to become a keep save. With the Aegis, he should be getting out of here. First hit bash, maybe? First hit bash. Oh, he actually gets the bash! Oh, no way. Now the Death Ward, he's trying to do whatever he can. Demons, but it's okay. The Astral's gonna be there to cancel it, and they get themselves one more kill. LGD saying, we're not out of this game yet. 2 lanes of Rex. Meh, we've come back from worse. Or at least hopefully. Pretty big team fight and nice bash.
Yeah, that was wow. The Storm got super greedy there as well. Like when the Aegis got popped, you could see he was like winding up, and then he cancelled his animation to jump. Maybe he clicked somewhere that he didn't want to jump, but he got punished. Ame's RNG is on point. It saved them the game.
I was meant to have this.
They also used Vici's in that, so there's no Roshan threat for another 10 minutes.
LGD being pushed to the edge here. Even if their back's against the wall, they're still showing that this is why CDEC, they had to go for the Aegis and the Roshan, because otherwise, if you die in a fight like that without those two, I'm pretty sure LGD can actually transition that into more objectives and more farming for sure.
And to be fair though, like when they backed off, I think that it was really easy to just dive and end the game. From our perspective, we could see they didn't have buybacks. I don't think CDEC were anywhere near sure on that, and that's why they were so hesitant. But by the time they came knocking, LGD were all up, they had all their ults, and when you're dead for like 40 seconds and you're just sitting at your tier 4s waiting for your racks to die while the rest of your heroes come up, you're formulating a plan to fight them. You're not just sitting there twiddling your thumbs. So I think the extra time, sure it cost them a racks, which it is a big deal, but it meant that LGD could actually win that fight somehow. The execution was still, and the RNG still needed to be on point.
Gold for my
For everything we can say that's good about LGD holding, they're still in a hole. There's no sugarcoating their situation. We can praise them for lasting so long.
Well, okay, meanwhile, CDEC gonna claim the last shrine, outer shrine at least, and I agree with you, like the part where LGD, they're still in a fix. It's very hard for them to come back, but we've seen some good things. If anything, in this grand final, if they want to make it to the summit, they have to play their hearts out, because right now, CDEC also playing this very scared. Like, this is the respect for LGD's like high gun defense.
If LGD win this game, it's not the biggest comeback in Dota, but it's a damn miracle. That's just how far behind they are. And like the heroes don't particularly clear creeps well either, so pushing out lanes is a huge problem for them. They joke without a Battle Fury, can't really clear big creeps. Maelstrom's still pretty slow, at least right now.
I see the appeal behind the Maelstrom. It's cheaper than going for the Battle Fury, but in this case, I actually feel like
it's definitely the better item.
I don't know, I feel like you would want the Abyssal Blade so that at least you can lock a hero down and then properly finish him off, because, and not to mention the damage block and the HP given, it's gonna help him severely, or rather very crucially, against heroes like the Ursa, for example. So right now, CDEC, they go for the smoke. If they can get the bait out into LGD, who are very, very grouped up to the far left of the map.
They know what
CDEC,
they are.
oh, they put the ward down. Jumping for the Sand King, we need Ravage as well, but the BKB responds way too quick. Nice rock, coming down to 4. And now they're going to be fighting into the Shrine. Actually, will they finally bring down Victoria? The Deathwatch should be able to bring him down. Yes, they've got the Bloodthorn Silence after effect. And the ship doesn't connect, but they find themselves a big kill. Golem also down. And LGD, they survive a mini heart attack, looking at the -second respawn time coming out from the Sand King. Also because he's quite low leveled. And Ame, search forward. I'm not sure you want to go into the Storm Spin. Not like that, at least.
But that's like so good for LGD.
Oh, they want to jump onto him right now. Can he get the bash? Where's the bash? Oh, they do get a bash. Abyssal Blade was on cooldown for another 3 seconds. 11 now, going back into the back line.
Alright, so now we have another Mexican standoff. And considering CDEC's initiation in that fight,
Oh, it's that too. Thinking about going in, but he gets down again.
LGD only losing that
Oh, the bar
is
strike.
huge.
I think they want to fight this. They should know there's no Ravage. The BKB coming in right now from Flyby. Yao gonna get 4-stack for the Omni Slice bouncing around. Ursa tanking everything with the Enrage. He's not gonna take all too much damage. The Manta Style Fucked right now, looking for the ship. Oh, turns out into the air. This be a pretty big ship, but a save from Maybe. And Flyby should be going down right here to Old 11. And this is where LGD, they can keep on going, looking for a bit more. Playing forward from Victoria, looking for the stun. Can he find the stun into anyone? Doesn't want to go into the tide. The waves are not in their favor. But LGD,
I'll take that.
they find themselves at least, you know, half an inch back into this game somehow.
I think CDEC are choking.
Is this actually happening? I mean, I would. This would be the dream to cast. But of course, trying to give it off with the power strike. Victoria will not find it. And CDEC, you have to be very puzzled at what's going on. I mean, yeah, Setsu, he could probably get rid of the wand, go for a Hex. You need that. Jug is very close to that. You know, Mjolnir, he needs it. But looking at the Darks here, what item do you go for in this guy? He's going for the Lotus Orb. Would you not try for maybe a Refresher Orb or a Hex?
I feel like you really just need a way to deal with the Blood Fawn. It's not so much for him because he has Greaves, but the rest of his team. Sand King doesn't have that luxury, Warlock doesn't have.
And this is for the first time in a very long time. LGD, they're going to be pushing forward down the middle lane, hoping to take themselves to tier 2. Ursa is down for 20 more seconds.
This
This
is like
game,
the first time they've been on this side of the map in like
Dire's
20
middle
minutes.
tower is under attack.
Other than that one tier 2 push, tier 1 push they did, where they, I think they wiped the Aegis, where Storm died and got a bit greedy. This is like their first aggressive move. That's actually not a smoke in a long time.
and all that's good. We hope to see that CDEC can try to close this out, of course, but LGD giving them a good run for their money. If anything, if maybe does get that Hex after the Moonshot, this could be a very, very big item, especially against the Storm Spirit, because right now his Bloodstone charges down to 14. I think it was like a while ago he was at like 19.
I think he hit 20 at one point, didn't he? Or is
Yeah.
that the previous game?
No, it was this game. He had that many, but it's just been extremely hard. They're waiting for the Roshan, which is not going to be up for a minute and a half. LGD just need to group up, try to get whatever resources they can off the map, milk it, and hope to God that it gives them maximum value to turn this game around. Now with the Mjolnir and the Juggernaut as well, this could be a very big item. You're going to bait with the Juggernaut. Do they actually want to jump him? You can see the enrage pops into Flyby. But now the bar strike initiation onto the Titan Hunter immediately. He's going to get 4-step out. Now going to the backline. That'll be the other side trying to go into the OD, but he got the 4-step away. The saves. It's going to be okay. Setsu position on over 11, but it's okay. Yao going to pop the rock right now. It's going to land the 3 heroes, stopping him in the strike. Epicenter coming in. Bar strike onto the Titan Hunter. It's not going to do that much. Joshua now buys back. The Ravage onto 3. And that's where the Depot comes in, channeling maximum timing. LGD losing 3, they lost 4. And this is a complete disaster. CDEC whipped the taunt from the Titan Hunter. And they're going to keep on going down the middle lane now. They should know, or rather they're going to try and force a buyback, but what they do not know is that you have no buybacks on the side of LGD. And now they call the GG, they've had enough. This has to be the last nail in the coffin for them as a team. It was so sad. The third qualifier where they just do not qualify at the last step.
That's just so sad for them. Like, that was a really impressive hold for how long they managed to keep it up. But in the end, the curse of the series rings true. The team that gets the early advantage wins the game.
If anything,
Big congrats to CDEC.
Congrats to CDEC for sure. They will qualify for the main event at the Summit House. Isn't that a dream, basically, for any player? I mean, every player basically really loves the Summit. And yeah, like you said,
I do feel a tiny bit sorry for the foreign teams, so
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure how many of these players actually speak fluent English.
You mean for the Chinese teams?
Yeah. Sorry, that's what I meant by foreign, like the non-English speaking teams.
Yeah, very few of them do, but that's why you have, you know, awesome translators like Jack who are there. And I mean, maybe Lumi can help a bit with Chinese as well. Hey, maybe you could bring me, wink wink. But alright, but still, that was really, really well played from CDEC. LGD, they tried their best, but this is the third land they're missing out on at the final hurdle. This is, I mean, what, as a team, you have to be really depressed from that.
Maybe depressed isn't even the strongest word you could use. Like, their roster is one that you want to be seeing at these events, and if they can't quite qualify for them, then maybe we need some changes. That being said, when they played yesterday, they looked immaculate. When they were in the quote-unquote draft win scenario, they looked really good in these games as well. So maybe it's unfortunate. Maybe they're not good enough. I really doubt that, but these are the questions that emerge when you start losing finals after finals.
Indeed.
Maybe it's the Cloud9 curse.
Maybe.
Because Cloud9 disbanded, and NP show their honorary Cloud9, but right now, maybe it's LGD that have the second place curse.
At qualifiers, that has to be the worst feeling ever. Like it actually is the worst feeling, I think, if you're LGD, but
You get
still.
nothing, right?
Yeah. I mean, maybe he
Nada,
had actually a pretty
squat.
good game. You have to give him credit, like considering how far behind they were. But Setsu, obviously, he won in it. I wouldn't say he won in it more, but he showed in the performance that yes, CDEC, they deserve to be at the summit for this. So really, really well played from them. And yeah, here we are. Congrats again to CDEC. And okay, so before we close out the series, I mean, any shoutouts, PQ?
I mean, thank you for being on the summit for the qualifiers and letting me cast them and join you. It's been really fun.
Of course, yep. So shout out to be on the summit, of course, to the sponsors, and of course to you guys in Twitch. If you have any feedback for us or you enjoyed the cast, do let us know at HadesDota.tv or at PQMZDota_ on Twitter. So I'll be giving the links in chat. I hope you guys have a good time, and I mean, of course, thank you PQMC for joining me. So this is pretty good, and yeah, we'll be signing out. But before that, I mean, PQ, we have to say this was a pretty good run. We covered pretty much a lot of the Chinese qualifier games. The Chinese region is looking very competitive with TI on the horizon.
So is NA as well. Like, I'd actually say Europe's looking a weak region for Exchange, which has always been like the opposite. It's really interesting how it all rotates through.
It does.
That being said, a lot of our good European players are over in the NA region. Cough, cough.
Haha. All right. Okay, so thank you everyone.